And it's Gordo here from Gordo's Games, bringing you some Digimon TCG content. And today we're doing a deck profile, and it's from the winning deck at Gencon at Fenton. Deck. So let's get into it. And here we are, people. We're just here today with Fenton, who took first place in Gencon. So before further ado, let's just get into it. Have a conversation. He's going to go through his deck profile, some of the techs he's got in place, and then we'll take it from there. So Fenton, so first of all, congrats. First place at Gencon, correct?
Yep.
And we're here today for a deck profile. And what did you take?
Black Defeat Turbo with a few techs to help you out some bad matchups.
And that is the title we'll go with. I mean, I'll even label the video all of that. So, obviously, in your own time, if you want to go through the deck list, some of your tech pieces and that, and we'll take it from there.
Yep. So we'll start with the eggs. We got 3 of the Capurimon that gives plus 1k with reboot. Obviously, Melgarumon has reboot, and you have a toy Agumon that gives reboot. So most of your targets should have reboot, and if they don't, you can always just Digiburst off the egg, and it doesn't really matter anyway. And then we're running 2 starter deck Capurimons that give plus 1k if you have blocker. Because we play the Sunrise on promo, it's another way to get to 13k to get the security attack plus 1 on a Hyandramon.
Makes sense.
For rookies, we have 4 Toy Agumon that give reboot. It's just the best rookie Black has, and reboot's really strong into certain matchups. So Rookie Rush, for example, you need to apply pressure whilst also being defensive, and reboot helps you swing every turn. And then if you have a blocker in the inherit, you can still restand to block. So it just helps against everything. It's not that good against defeat because it's not that good against Omnimon's Warp because all your megas are 12 cost or lower. So sometimes you don't want them to restand, but it just happens.
So the old classic purple's still a bad matchup because of the old Trump used to be Trump sword, now it's just Warp.
Purple's good against slow decks, and this is a fairly slow deck. But so you have your outs, but it's not the best. Yeah. So you run 2 star deck Toy Agumon. It's good early game, but a lot of decks in this format want to attack you as soon as they can, so it's not the best. It situationally comes up if you can set it up, but like it's more of a win more card. Once you're ahead, if you have out, you're going to win the game for these because you can keep drawing all your pieces. If you want to cut a rookie to try something else, I'd recommend you start with this, and then if it comes up, you can put it back in.
Makes sense.
2 Digiburst Sunriser, so when you Digiburst, it comes back to your hand. Sometimes you'll brick and you might only have 1 rookie for like the whole game, but if it's this one, it doesn't matter. You can just Digiburst it with Gogma, Digiburst it with Melguru, and then you'll have it for whenever you next need your stack. So it helps with consistency overall. 2 Sunrise on promo. Situational card, but it comes up as a game ender. There's 3 ways to set it up. We'll go into that later.
And another thing to point out for any of those who are trying to get your hands on these, you can blame people such as Fenton here and Lychee, I believe, who also topped with a similar list, as they have now like disappeared. Everybody's after trying to grab those.
And then 3 vanilla Commandramons. Vanillas are always nice to have. Lets you go into 1 cost blockers for cheap if you have 3 memory at the start of your turn and still do something else. And it lets you swarm the board if you need to sometimes with multiple. We'll move on to the champs. We got 4 Tankmon. 6k is super important. Doesn't die to Shoutmon, doesn't die to Nightmon plus Egg. Also, I've seen people play Numamon. I personally don't like it because it also dies to Ultimate Flare as well, and Nidhogg and stuff as well. So it's just I like the Tankmon more. And against Rookie Rush, you don't really want 3k in security because the rookie's going to live, so the 6k helps for that as well. We have 4 Dark Tyrannomon. This is a turbo deck, so you want as many 1 cost evos as possible. The blocker's nice, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If the blocker comes into effect, it's nice. If not, it's just a cheap evo to tower up into your Omnimons. 2 Sealsdramon, as I said before, 6k is an important stat line due to all the stuff that interacts with 5ks. It's a blocker as well, which is big, and it can also attack, which is nice for finishing the game. The 1 Mechanorimon helps against Rookie Rush, so cheap evo cost, cheap play cost. So it's like Numamon, you can just play it if you don't have anything else. It's not a bad card to brick on because you can play it, and then when It can win you a game just but with its effect of restand after blocking if someone goes wide. And then for level 5s we have the finally BT5. Black finally gets a 2-cost level 5 in Waramonzemon. It's a turbo deck, so the cheap evo is always nice, and it's only costs 5 to play level 5, so if you brick, it's extremely good there as well. And against security control, if you like to hard play, it's good to just hard play stuff constantly, and that's a good target. 3 Megadramon. Blocker inherit's really nice if you can put a stack with reboot defeat, so you get reboot blocker, you can swing every turn and you can block on your opponent's turn. Extremely good against stuff like Imperial if you can get a Handramon that has a boost in a stack, or you can get a defeat in a stack that you basically just win the game unless they have a Kakaitis breath, they can't really answer it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then 3 Gogramon, my opinion, best card in the deck. Helps against yellow, it can help your stuff survive turns, so if you triple burst and then go to Handro, it's 19k, which is, they have to commit Valderam to out it basically, and if not then you can go into defeat the next turn. Gogramon itself stops Imperial from swinging if you have it in raising, because it can get to 13k, so it can swing over it. Same with Shoutmon. It's just the best card in the deck. I'd love to play 4. I haven't decided what to cut. I would maybe cut 1 Megadramon or 1 Waramonzemon if you feel like you're not going to brick, but I get scared of bricking, so.
I think we all do, and that's
Best card in the deck by far.
Absolutely.
And then the 3 Handramon, 12k vanilla. You have extremely powerful inherits in the deck, so the vanilla stat line's fine, and the cheap evo cost lets you turbo into your defeat more often, faster as well. And then one of the other best cards in the deck, Metal Garurumon. 3-cost evo, Digiburst, Digiburst 2 on Digivolution, delete one of your opponents at 6 cost or less. If not, trash top security. Extremely versatile card, can delete any blocker for the most part. Helps you win against security control as you trash the security, because I don't really play anything that has chief evo costs, and it's amazing. It has reboot itself, so you can Digiburst the Twagmon egg if you don't need it and keep like the egg in the Gogma if you have that in the stack. It's an amazing card. And then we got the 1 Blitz Greymon. This is mostly in here so it's good in the mirror. If it helps you, it gives you an out to defeat or antibody if your opponent has one, and you don't have to commit a flare that costs 8 to not even kill it. So it's good for that. And a lot of yellow matchups, if they have a War Growl, they're going to be greedy and keep the egg. So if they go straight into Lord Knight, then this will literally just kill it because they've kept the egg and they won't have a level 3, so it will die. And because it's a red Digimon, it also gives you another route into antibody if you don't have the defeat, which can come up against matchups that are aggressive, that don't have much removal, so like Imperial or even Shoutmon. And then for the level 7s, we have the 3 defeat. I mean, everyone knows what this card does. If you hit it off security, you're gonna win that game 9 times out of 10. On Digivolve Killer Tamer, there's some helps against yellow if you can kill TK, green if you kill Mimi. You're going to be in a strong position. You can give it stuff like blocker, so your opponent can't swing at you unless they want to trade. And yeah, it's a cheap evo as well, 3 cost, which is really nice. And then I have the 1 Alter S. No one really plays around it anymore. It's not on anyone's mind. The helps clear wide boards. If your opponent's got a Lord Nightmon and like 2-3 blockers or whatever, or like a bunch of rookies, you can clear most of the board. And if they don't have a Lord Knight straight away and it'll stick around, you're probably just going to win that game next turn. Really strong. I like it a lot. And the 15k in security is kind of big, even if it ends up in there as well. Like it can kill a Lord Nightmon, it can kill Blitz Omni, it can kill like an antibody, it can kill a lot of stuff. It's really good. It also helps in the mirror as well, to out a defeat or out an antibody. Just extra cards. The mirror's not, it's kind of awkward to play. There you go. So antibody, amazing card. It costs 3 to evo onto an Omnimon, so if you have a defeat out and they leave it at the upper turn, you can go into that and you can kill anything on attack. It is mandatory, so you're going to have to watch out for that. If your opponent's also playing defeat, you have to kill summon. So beware not to attack on it if they just have a defeat, because they'll just kill it straight away. And then it's opponent's turn effect. When they attack, you can remove 2 cards from its stack to end the attack. And obviously this is a turbo deck, so you're going to often have big stacks. whether it's 6 or 5, you might be able to stop 2 or 3 attacks at any point. And it's just, if it doesn't get answered, you're going to win the game very much likely. It's really strong. And then we have the options. We have 3 Ultimate Flare, my least favorite card in the deck. I've done it so often. It doesn't. It's mostly in it for Rookie Rush, but even against Rookie Rush, it hasn't really come up for me. Like, if you give your opponent 8 or like 7, they're just gonna spit out 5 more rookies. It doesn't really do much. If you hit it in security, yeah, but like, it's probably a 1 of or a 2 of at most. It hasn't come up for me. You need them in multiples really if you want to do anything. If you want it to come up against Rookie Rush, and you have options against Rookie Rush. Metal Garurumon with the block is really nice to answer that as well. So it doesn't. If I would, you could cut it down very easily to 2 or 1 even.
Yeah, I found that when trialing the list out myself. To be honest, I had like 3 ultimate flares like every game. I was like, I don't want to use this.
It's really dead in a lot of matchups. So Lord Knight, if they just like play a Nightmon out and Digivolve onto that, you can't really doesn't do anything. Security control is absolutely useless. Green OTK, or a lot of the time, as soon as they move out, they're gonna get rid of the whole stack anyway, so it's useless there. And then against purple, often if they play like a black or Growlmon, it's just also not very effective there either. It's just a lot of the time it's really dead against the top meta deck, so I really dislike it. It's good against rogue decks. It's good against Imperial. It's good against like other Diaboromons, I guess, because all their rookies cost 3, so you can blow up the stack. It's good against it's just good. It's better against rogue decks than the meta, which is kind of annoying. I felt like I had to run it because of Rookie Rush, but it didn't win me a single game against Rookie Rush. If anything, this next card won me more games against Rookie Rush. And that is the 1 Izzy. I would probably just cut a Flare and add an extra Izzy. Not being choked by Rookie Rush is the best way you're going to win that matchup anyway, I think. And it won me more games against Rookie Rush than Flare did, not being choked every turn. It let me choke them, in fact. They'd give me 3 at the start of the turn. I'd go 1 cost Evo and then 3 cost, so it'd be like Tankmon, Megadramon. And then they're at 1, they can play 1 rookie. The next turn I have Blocker, and I can Evo to a level 6 a Metal Garurumon, kill one of their guys, swing, and then reboot for the next turn. So I'm starting my game plan to get back in the game. I'm going aggressive. I'm chipping down their board a bit, and if you play stuff like ORS as well, you give that blocker, wipe their board, and then the LOS can also go into antibody, and if you get antibody against Rookie Rush, you just win the game. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Matchup wise, Lord Nightmon is good for the most part. If they draw the nuts, it's not likely you're gonna win, but I don't think any deck's likely to win if Lord Nightmon draws the nuts. Valderam's the problem card in Lord Nightmon over Lord Nightmon itself. It trades with your defeat, and like if you want to kill the Valderam, they get the memory back, which isn't exactly the best. Green OTK is it's not too bad. You can play around it. Mimi, if you can kill Mimi with defeat, you're likely going to win that game. Reboot helps against Nidhogg as well. You don't have to worry about swinging and then like playing into Nidhogg to try and get some damage off. And then security control, just play it slow. Just hard play a bunch of your level 4. Just hard play Tankmons, hard play Warumonzemons, hard play Megadramons. You can use Metal Garurumon to chip them down. You can use defeat to kill their tamers to turn off their options. So if you know they've only got 1 Izzy down, you kill the Izzy, it turns off their flares, it turns off stuff. If they're playing a yellow base with a red tie, which I saw a lot this weekend, which was I thought people stopped playing that. If you pop the tie, it turns off all the Gaia forces, it turns off everything, and it's just really good against that. And Metal Garurumon also helps to chip away their security. So if you play it right, you should be fairly favoured. Like you can slowly chip them down, and you should be able to win.
Yeah, it also comes down to that RNG, doesn't it? How lucky a security player they really are with every check.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's ways you can play around it though. So obviously, one example, my opponent played Izzy. He revealed Magnadramon, Transcendent Sword, and then next turn he went Magnadramon, put the Transcendent Sword to the top. I think I had a defeat and just a level 4. It went into Gogma, bursted to go to 13, then swung, and it just did nothing because there's no 11k on the board. So there's stuff you can do to play around it. You can just be slow. You can get antibody out. If you get antibody out, you can just sit on it for a few turns. Like it only dies to Gaia Force really, so you can just slowly start swinging it. Just flare doesn't do anything if you have not much in stack. Like it just only dies to Gaia Force for the most part. So you can just sit on it for a bit and force your opponent to commit to something. Yeah, just take it slow against security controllers. No need to rush. Even if the game's really long, if you win that game, then likely the second game's going to go to time, and then you can, if in that case, you just won the first game, so you're going to win if you tie overall the second game. So it's not that bad.
No, that's fair enough. And what would you say is the absolute best matchup for this one? What's the field day for this? Is there one? Is the question.
From the meta, personally, I think out of Security Control, Rookie Rush, and Lord Knight, Security Control is the easiest matchup. Rookie Rush it's Rookie Rush, right? If they have the spiral, if they have the spirals when they need it, you're gonna lose. If not, you can easily win. If you hit a flare and security, you're gonna wipe most of their board besides like the Salamon or the Bushiagamon. Lord Nightmon is not bad. You kill their TKs with defeat, you get big stacks. If they draw the nuts, they're gonna win. But if they draw the nuts against anything, you're not gonna win against Lord Nightmon. That's just how the deck is. Imperial's okay. Depends if you brick or not. Like the deck's so fast, you have to have like a perfect start to win. Sharpmon's one of the easier matchups, so that one shouldn't be a problem.
Well, that hurts me as a Shoutmon player. That really does hurt me.
I mean, Gogmon answers his Shoutmon on its own, right? So if they just if you can just choke them to one, and then like they give you 3 of the Shoutmon, you just go into a Gogma, swing over it because you can get to 13k. That one's kind of fine. Diaboromon is it's not that bad either. Like it's fine as well. Yeah, for the matchups. I think it's a fairly consistent deck. It doesn't have any terrible matchups. Purple could be an issue because it's a slowish deck. I didn't play against purple besides one Dan Devi player, and that was scary because obviously once Dan Devi gets set up, you kind of on a clock whether you need to end the game fast. But green OTK, you can play around it. It's kind of hard, but you can play around it. But yeah, it's just consistent deck. It does what it does. It towers into defeat. It gets strong stacks, and it has good grind game. It has good. It can go aggressive when you need it with Metal Gurumon to trash security. It's just a consistent deck. It has good matchups against a lot of stuff, so it's a good deck to take to tournaments.
And well, obviously we've gone through things you potentially change. Ultimate Flare would obviously get dropped down. Did anybody help you put the pieces together, or anything was based off? Anyone you want to give a shout out for, shall we say?
Of course, Lychee. He obviously won the first event with it, the NA regional. So he was the first guy to really put black on the map, I guess. So his list was an inspiration. Obviously, I just had a few techs I thought that could make the deck better. A few changes here and there. I went through a few iterations. I had Chumon in for like Hex Blau matchups, but like it doesn't really do anything because they get Sora and Joe out anyway. So like you're not really stopping them from gaining memory in the grand scheme of things. Also has 1k, so it dies to any like Lord Nightmon egg, which was it was getting a pain. If anything, you want to cut, you could probably get more vanilla rookies, more 2 costs in here. You could probably try cut Sunriser. You could probably try and cut Toy Agumon. Yeah, Gogmamon is a card I'd really want to try and get 4th in. It just helps against so many matchups. It helps against yellow. It helps against the mirror. It can stop like your antibody from getting in range of their antibody, stuff like that. It's just such a versatile card. It can boost your blockers, so it can boost like a Mechanorimon, so it doesn't die against Rookie Rush Spiral per turn.
Yeah,
it's just such a versatile card.
Yeah, that did come up for me, to be honest, earlier, because I had a little test game with it earlier against the purple one using the Zwart defeats and antibodies kind of thing. And I went to swing with their antibody and the Gogbles and stack. I was like, yeah, my antibody's 16. So yeah. have at it. You're not doing nothing to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many rounds was Gencon in the end?
9. No, 8. 8 rounds was Gencon, 9 rounds was Evo Cup. So yeah, it was a long old weekend of games.
And you went 8-0 undefeated throughout the entire thing.
8-0, 8-0 in Gencon, and then 6-3 in Evo. I saw one defeat in security the whole day on Sunday, so it was bad, and I kept drawing all my flares. It was yeah, you need some luck if you're gonna top. I had some decent luck on the Gencon game. I hit defeats a few times, and then Sunday it balanced out. Sunday I didn't hit any besides the one in the first round, but it happens, right? Most defeat decks, if you hit defeat on security, you're gonna win that game. So they have to answer it, and if not, if you go into an antibody for free, you've just killed something, so it's insanely strong. Yeah.
And I think, was it Lychee? Did he play 4 Zwart defeats in his list? Didn't he? Played
He
it.
was playing 4, yeah. I cut 1 for an Alter S because I thought it would help against more matchups, and sometimes you draw like 3 defeats, and it's like it just sits in your hand. So having the one extra option to like clear a wide board, it comes up quite a lot of times. Early like if people have a few different stacks where they have multiple blockers out, you can just wipe their board. It feels really nice. Also, it's because it's an Omni Monarch, you can also go into X antibody after anyway. So if you give it a reboot blocker, it's 15k. And you can also go into X antibodies. So like I've seen some people suggest to try other level 7s, so like Armageddon even. Just you make a big Armageddon blocker. The opponent can't like Valderarm it to get rid of it or anything. They can't like use like Blitz Omni to underspend and swing. I'll have to try it. Obviously Millenniumon's still a card, right? It's a big blocker. You can shuffle stuff back. But so that would, if you want to try a version without like the antibody stuff, you could probably just try a few of those cards instead. You could probably try Millenniumon, try Armageddon as level 7s to build big stacks around.
Yeah, I think there was a list that actually topped with that. Was I think like a black toolbox, playing a couple of Millenniums, a couple of Armageddons, I believe.
I mean, Black has so many options for level 6s, level 7s. So for example, like even level 6 pool, you've got like Blastmon if you want a big block, 13k like aggressive blocker. You got War Greymon. You've got like Bryludramon even if you want to give another route to blocker on a defeat. You don't have to always go through Megadramon. That could be a change. If you want to play the 4th Gogma, you can drop a Megadramon and then you could swap the Blitz for a Bryludramon. It's another route to blocker for defeat. It still does the same thing. So
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of room to mess around, put your own text on it, and it's just a really fun deck overall to play.
exactly, and that's the thing about black overall. If out of everything, I think that's what I'm gonna go on the assumption as that's why they were so mean to us and made us wait until like now to get to 2-cost Evo, because we have access to all of the best level 7s overall.
I mean, it's a premium card. It's even a rare, so it's so good in black they decided to make it a rare.
I know. But no, well, thanks for joining us here today, and thanks for going through your deck with us. I can vouch the list is great. I mean, I took it to my locals following, just seeing it as like, I want to see what this Crazy Madness does, and it did exactly what I expected it to do, Crazy Madness, and it ended up winning. So a very well put together list, and well played at Gen Con. All right.